A very good morning to my dear students of class 6. Today we will discuss the rest portion of chapter 9. So come to page number 77 and our first point is Ashoka's Dhamma. Now what is Dhamma? The word Dhamma is derived from the Sanskrit word Dharma, which means religious duty. And Ashoka's Dhamma is inspired by the teaching of Buddha. It is based on human values and a code of conduct. Now let's talk about the main principles of Dhamma. People should live in peace and harmony. Everyone should follow ahimsa, that is non-violence and non-injury to all living creatures. People should love one another and show tolerance and respect towards other religions. Children should obey their elders and elders should treat children with understanding. People should be truthful, charitable and kind to all. So, by these principles, what we can understand? It is quite understandable that Ashoka's Dhamma was with social responsibility and a general humaneness in all actions. His Dhamma symbolized humanity. Now, let's come to our next point, propagation of Dhamma. Ashoka adopted several measures for the propagation of Dhamma. He set a personal example by strictly following the principles of Dhamma and inspired others also to do the same. He visited all the places associated with the life of Buddha, like Bodh Gaya and Sarnath. He constructed many Buddhist monasteries. Then he sent many learned Buddhist scholars to distant lands for the spreading of Buddhism. He sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to Sri Lanka for the spreading of the messages of Buddhism. Ashoka employed Dhamma Mahamatras who were appointed with the task of spreading the messages of Buddha among the people, bring harmony among various communities, and work for the temporal and spiritual welfare of the subjects. Ashoka got the teachings of Buddha engraved on rocks and pillars so that everybody could read them. He organized the Third Buddhist Council in Pataliputra in order to maintain the integrity of Buddhism and to keep the Buddhist Sangha united. Our next point is Ashokan edicts. Edicts are one of the archaeological sources of valuable information of the Mauryan period. Edicts are the royal commands and these were inscribed on rocks, pillars and caves. Edicts were composed in Prakrit, the language of common people, and written in the Brahmi script. Now let's come to our next point, ideals of kingship. Ashoka was one of the greatest kings in the history of India. He was a benevolent ruler. He looked upon his subjects as his children and did everything possible to promote their material and spiritual welfare. He appointed officials called Mahamattas to carry out administrative work. Ashoka planted trees, set up roadside resting places, dug wells, and built hospitals for both people and animals. His welfare activities even spread to foreign countries. Emperor Ashoka occupies a glorious place in world history. What makes him unique is the way he renounced warfare after the first victory of his royal career and devoted himself to spread messages of love, peace and universal brotherhood. So that's the end of our chapter 9, my students. Go through the chapter properly and write the question answers in your classwork copy. Thank you.